people are people. They have their own ideas of what they want to do. And we try and really look to the person we recruit. We really think about recruiting a competence and an individual. Where can you blossom? Where can you make the most impact? Because that will make you the most happy. And sometimes people have challenging things happening in their lives. You need to have those periods where you sort of, okay, I need to just focus on these areas now. I will do my job, but I cannot challenge myself too much at the moment. And that's okay.
Today, I'm learning from Kathrine Hogseth. Kathrine is the CEO of CRM-K in Sweden, a Microsoft partner business that she's led for over 10 years. Kathrine has a master's in electrical engineering and has held several roles in telecommunications before achieving her MBA and then venturing into the technology industry. Today, CRM-K is one of the most highly regarded business applications partners in Sweden, with a team of 40 people that has recently expanded into Germany. Kathrine shares her expert perspectives on working with her spouse, working with an advisory board, and the importance that CRM-K places on fostering a culture of continual learning by bringing everyone together every week for structured learning sessions. She also covers international expansion, how to deal with so many MVPs in a small business, and how CRM-K benefits from its close support of the Nordic Summit conferences. It's a wide-ranging discussion, and I learned heaps from Kathrine, who took some time out of her holiday to come and join me on Practice Leading. Here's Kathrine. Kathrine, thank you very much for joining me on the Practice Leading podcast. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Neil. So nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
I've been following you for a little while. You're a fearless leader at CRM-Konsulterna in Sweden. And I just noticed on your LinkedIn profile, you're celebrating 10 years next month. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Tell us what it's like to be leading a business for that length of time.
Well, I think the thing is, it's very different from when I started. So then we were 4 people. Now we are 37 and just hired 3 more just the other day. So still growing. So it's not the same company any longer, even though the values are still the same and we do the same, similar to what we did. Of course, it has changed as the Microsoft platform changes, but it's a different job, I would say, every day, which is, I think, the joy of it and why it's so much fun, because you don't stop learning and you don't stop developing.
Yeah, I completely agree. We've all grown businesses from nothing into something, and the challenges keep changing every day. And sometimes when you feel you've reached a milestone, there's another one ahead of you, and a new set of challenges. So and it's always when you feel like, oh, now everything is working, everybody's happy, customers are happy, then of course you really need to enjoy that moment, because the next moment something new will have happened. Yeah. Are you good at celebrating those moments? I'm terrible. As soon as I achieve something, I'm like, what's next? And I never take a moment.
I try to take a moment, and I have people around me that also remind me of that, and I remind them when they have moments. So we try to do it, but it's not easy, because in your profession is always about the next step and what dangers lures around the corner and what possibilities are there, etc. So it's always on type of.
Yeah. Our business coach, we won a big opportunity a little while ago, and our business coach bought me a bottle of champagne, and it sat in my cupboard for 6 months before I dare open it. I'm so bad.
That's right. I think it's really important, actually, to do that. We have an advisory board in our company, and one external woman who's there, her name is Marika. She's also doing the same, like patting you on the shoulder, saying you're doing a really good job. And I think that's really important when you run a business like we do, because you have the responsibility for everybody, but they don't have they don't remember maybe to say good job, because they don't really know all the things you do. So when you have that, that's so important.
Yeah. Tell me about your advisory board. That's something that Superware is looking at next year, is assembling an advisory board. We're trying to specialize in a certain financial services industry. So we're thinking about looking at advisors who come from that industry to help us chart a path. Have you taken a similar approach with your advisory board? Are they all technical people? How have you approached assembling an advisory board?
Yeah, so from our side, the technical competence we think we have in-house, but then again, that's changing as well, because the platform is growing so much. We work only with the Microsoft platforms, Power Platform on Dynamics. So that's grown a lot. I mean, you need to learn things. So maybe we'll change. Again, it's a living thing, the whole advisory board. But currently we have been focusing on the HR competence, to be honest, because we're a consultancy firm, and recruiting and keeping the right people is key as you grow as well, because one wrong recruitment can really change the whole way of working and the whole sort of feeling in the company culture.
Yeah.
So that's why we have chosen to have one person that really helps us with finding, keeping, challenging, our consultants. Okay. So that's where we have started. We only have one external person, and then it's me and Gustav Westerlund, the main owners of the company that's in that advisory board as well.
Okay. So it's not like a big board of directors that are giving advice about which direction to take. Okay.
No,
right.
not now. Okay. Things might change, but at the moment it's just three of us. Yes.
I'm slightly envious running a business with your husband. Well, I would love to do the same with my wife. So most days I would love to do the same with my wife. What's it been like working together? I think the entire time you've worked together, over 10 years. So what's that journey been like, working together every day and then going home and seeing each other again? And can you separate work from life?
Yeah. To begin with, it sounds more like you see each other all the time than it actually is, because we're on different. Gustav is working a lot with customers and he's out of the office, but so we don't see each other many days, actually, only once a week or something at the office. But I would say if you can work with your spouse or with somebody close to you, it's a really win-win, because there is somebody you can trust to 100%. And that can also be brutally honest with you sometimes and say, hey, come on, you can do better than this. Or as we started with, that was a good job, well done. So I would say that that's really, really powerful. And I think the key has been that Gustav was very, when he sort of recruited me and I took over as a CEO, he was really backing away, letting me take all the decisions and letting me be in charge. And that was very, very important. So he did a very graceful exit from that role into his new role. And then, of course, we talk at home about our work, because it's also our passion, to be honest.
I agree.
And building a company where you would love to work yourself and where you would treating people like I always want to treat people, being able to act as you think is right. I mean, there's nothing more powerful than that, I think. That's really something I like to share that with my husband. I mean,
great. You said just before we got started that leading a business is, you said management is easy. But then you said it's just about letting people grow. And I think both of those statements are true, but letting people grow can be challenging. There's some good times and there's some tough times in that.
Yeah.
So why does that sometimes feel so hard if it ought to be easy?
Because people are people. They have their own ideas of what they want to do. And it's also a lot about aligning that with what you do as a business. And I think most of the time we succeed with doing that because we try and sort of really look to the person we recruit. We really think about recruiting a competence and an individual where we see where can you blossom, where can you make the most impact, because that will make you the most happy. Yeah. And sometimes people have challenging things happening in their lives that makes them sort of not, they cannot do that because they need to focus on other things, and that's okay. Of course, you need to have those periods where you sort of, okay, I need to just focus on these areas now. I will do my job, but I cannot challenge myself too much at the moment. And that has to be all right, of course. But when you sort of feel good in yourself and things are working with the rest of your life, you can really sort of focus on developing your skills in so many ways, I think, in what we do, from project management and how change management to development, and you can really change what type of job you want in a really very flexible way. So I think sometimes it's hard to have people grow, but you just keep on challenging and keep on supporting. It happens.
You mentioned that notion of a season for growth. And then sometimes you have a season where there's something happening with your family or your kids, or, you're moving house. There's all these other things that can happen. Or maybe you're doing some further study, and at work, you just need to back off a little bit. And I love seeing people admit or let me know that is happening, because it's so easy to assume that somebody's just ready to go all the time, and you want to push them and stretch them further, but they might not be ready for it at that moment.
No.
And having that communication. But as a leader, do you feel the same, that there are seasons when you can push it and seasons you need to back off? And how do you handle that in the organization when there's just a lot going on at home right now? I can't be 100%.
Yeah, I think I try to be extremely transparent, and I think leading by example. It's of course I cannot sort of sit down and cry at the office and say everything is really bad. There has to be a sort of some sense to it, but I think it's important to say, like, my mother is not feeling well. I want to focus on her now, so I will leave the office today early because I need to do that or something. So I try to be very transparent with things, and I really want everybody to be that as well with me and with their managers, because then we can, plan and help out. And I mean, life is full of surprises, good and bad. And that, I mean, the older I get, the more things happens to me, of course, and people around me. You can get sick, and you can have parents dying, and life happens every day. So it's so important to be able to have that climate where you can be honest and you can be true to yourself. I think that's one of the most important things for me, as one of my base values, is I really need to be true, and I cannot fake. I cannot be fake, because then that doesn't at all work for me. So this is what I really want everybody to feel, that they can be true. They have to take responsibility, of course, for who they are and how to communicate that in a way that's possible for others to understand and understand how to act. But really sort of be true. Don't have to lie or be somebody else, because that will not last.
Yeah.
Costs too much energy to do that.
You mentioned a couple of times your values. We're going through an exercise of considering our own. So we get 6 co-founders. We're considering our own personal values, and then how those get reflected into the values of the business. And it's almost impossible to have a business with core values that's completely separate or different from the founders. What's it like inside CRM-Konsulterna? Do you have distinct values that are up on the wall and posters on your website that are clearly communicated, or is it more emergent than that you're just a blend of the 37 people?
The values we have, this competence, honesty, and win-win. It's something we talk with everybody when we talk about recruiting. It's one of the first things I said. This is so important to us that these are our values. They have been that for the whole time the company has existed, so 14 years now. When we recruit somebody, we actually do sort of an analysis about what are your personal values, because they of course are not exactly the same as the corporate values, or you interpret them in one way, you interpret honesty in one way and in another. So we really put a lot of focus on what these values mean, and what does your way of working and your values, what does that bring into our company values. And we do an analysis actually of all the people working in the company every 2 years to see has things changed, because after COVID, health, for example, has become very, very important for many people. So then we talk about that. So for me, this is very important. For you, this is very important. How can we work together so I'm not violating your values? The company values all the time. We talk about them almost every week in our sort of company meeting we have Friday morning, in one way or the other. And then we also do this very strict when we recruit people and with people that are working at the company, to really make sure people live our values and they live their own values.
Yeah, cool. a company meeting every week.
Yeah.
So I'm at the opposite end of the scale. We have company meetings very infrequently. I leave the teams to go on and do the delivery work. We have project meetings all the time. We see a lot of each other, but a company meeting every week. I don't know what we would talk about. What happens in your company meetings?
Yeah, actually, we have Fridays for office days. So we serve breakfast every Friday morning, and we take turns in deciding what to put on the breakfast table, and then we have a meeting where we go through what has happened this week. I tell everybody what I've been doing, what pipeline we have, because I also work with sales in our company. Project that has gone live, we sort of go through what has happened. And then we also talk a little bit about how we can be proactive and advisory to our customers, give each other examples of what we have achieved. So it's a lot about sharing what's ongoing, what's going to happen. And again, we talk a lot about what are our, in different ways, how do we behave and act our values, and how do we, what are our goals? And what activities are happening according to our goals.
And did you always have that kind of rhythm whenever you were just 4 people, or was it something you introduced later? Because as companies get bigger, it's harder to keep on top of everything that's going on.
Yeah, we have always had it, because I've been thinking that working in a consultancy firm is easy to forget actually where your home is, or work home, and really want to get people together, because I mean I've been recruiting everybody myself, more or less, in our company, which is fabulous. It's fantastic to be able to choose your co-workers, right? It's really, really so cool. And I think they are, the best people I can find, and be able to then spend time with them, and they to spend time with each other, because they also come to our company, I think, in order to spend time with these colleagues we have. Yeah. So really to open up for that is so important, I think. And that's our way of doing it, really.
And what's it like in terms of working location in Sweden at the moment? You go one day in the office on Fridays. Are most people on customer side the rest of the week, or they're working from home, or they work from your office?
It's a bit different. So it depends on the customer. Some customers want us to be at office, and other customers are working from home. So that's really up to the customer and the consultant. People have kids every other week, maybe need to be able to pick up and bring kids. And so we try and adjust for people's life situation as much as possible. And of course, to the customer needs, of course.
I saw a LinkedIn post recently, and the person writing was giving like top 10 reasons why it's great to work from the office every day and everybody should be coming in. And when I looked at his profile, he's a leasing agent in the real estate industry.
Yeah,
but he got like hundreds and hundreds of comments telling him he's mad, and that flexible working should be here to stay. Working from home was a lot more productive than working in the office. And I think the reality is that some flexibility is good. For some teams, they'll enjoy working together. I know whenever I was younger, it was much easier and better for me to work in the office. Like you said, when you have a family and there's things going on, sometimes some flexibility is better.
Some people need to sit together with other people. And of course, if we recruit somebody new that need to learn, that's important that they come into the office and build the relationships and learn from their colleagues. Yeah. And I really like to be in the office again, because I mean, I recruited the people. I really want to spend time around them. So yeah.
Very good. We're going to have to think of ways we can spend more time together in the office.
Yeah. And I think we also try to say, this day we're working with this customer. So even though we work remotely, maybe you meet up at the office one day a week for that customer. Yeah. So try and find ways, and really try to make it interesting to come to the office, because I think that's key.
Yeah. Is it more than just having beanbags and table tennis?
Yeah. We don't have beanbags, and we don't have table tennis either. But we have I think a nice environment where you can sit like in a project meeting and talk through things. We have Lego, on the other hand. We have that,
of course,
really, really big Lego things we build now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm a big fan of Lego. I ran a Lego event at the Power Platform Community Conference, and we give away Lego at all the conferences we go to.
Yep.
We quite often get asked, why are you giving away boxes of Legos? Like, well, we build apps and we build Legos. They're two big passions. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's always it's an interesting talking point when you're at a booth, you're trying to attract people over. And the next conference we're going to, we're actually just going to open one of the sets and invite people to come over. And there's the page of instructions, and you could build a couple of steps in the Lego set.
That's good. That's good. We have it more like a sort of, if you want to take a short break, go and build some Lego on the Titanic. That was the last thing we did. So.
Oh, that's a good set. You just talking about opening offices, you've just opened an office in Germany.
Yeah.
What's the international expansion like? How has that worked out?
Well, we just started, I'd say. So we will see. I think maybe 2025 will be the year where we try and sort of push for growth there. But we also opened another office in Sweden, in southern part of Sweden, so to say, Kalmar. The challenge, of course, is to, have the same type of leadership philosophy. We have a leadership philosophy in the company where all our team managers has developed together, really. So this is something we need to share, of course, across Sweden, and with probably some German adoption, because countries are different. Really try and run the company in the same way, and definitely with the same values. Very important.
Well, I happen to know a little inside secret is that you have one of your existing team members who is German, but I think has lived in Sweden for a long time. So he's probably heading home, I guess, to open up the office with you. So that's a great way to do it, rather than just find somebody brand new and have them open up a remote office. That would be much more challenging.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And he's been, he thinks our values are good, and he thinks that will work very well in Germany. So I hope he's right, of course, but I think so.
Yeah. So he gets an opportunity to build a business with your backing and with your frameworks and with the culture and everything else. So great opportunity.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's really good, as you say, to have somebody that has been marinated in our way of working and bring that to Germany, and then he has, of course, to adopt a little bit, but hopefully he can keep a lot of what we do, and maybe develop us a little bit back as well. That's what we're hoping for.
Have you got plans for any other offices, expanding into other countries, perhaps?
Not yet. We're looking for the right persons. As always, it's all about finding the right individual to grow the business and to carry out our values and the way of working. I think,
So thinking about Sweden, its population's 10 million people?
Yeah, 10 million.
So that's half the size of Australia. Sometimes I feel like there's not enough work in Australia, and we're 25 million people. How does it feel growing a business in a country the size of Sweden? Do you always feel that there's still more room to grow? Or, I guess we all have other partners offering services in competition, and, what's it been like there?
Well, I think we have had this recession now this last year. I feel like that's actually it's easing. The market is it's really easing up, or what do you say? It's getting better.
Yeah.
And I think there is so many things where what we do can benefit companies. We really focus on how we can make. How can we help our customers make more money with working with their customer? How can we save them money by making things more efficient and minimize their risks? So we have a great value proposition working with Power Platform and Dynamics. So there is a lot of work. There are also, of course, companies that compete with us on this one. And I think what we do is really just focus on how we best combine the technical skills we have with the business skills we have to make it work in different customer situations. And again, challenge them and their organization as much as we can in a way that we really care about our customers.
I get the sense you've delivered some big enterprise, challenging projects in financial services. Are there specific industries that you specialize in, or technologies that you specialize in, or is it just been like finding customers with the right kind of challenges that you solve?
Yeah, it's really been. We've been coming from the platform of Power Platform and the CRM side of Dynamics. So those are the processes I would say we've been focusing on with Power Platform. That can be so many different processes. So yeah, financial services definitely been working, energy sector as well, but also companies just wanting to grow and wanting to be challenged and wanting to work in a win-win way. So it's a lot about the companies we work with as well, not necessarily the industry, but the growth mindset, I think, and the understanding of the benefits we together can bring in if we work very close together. And we understand their business, and they start to learn the platform and see what can be done. So that type of sort of iterative way of working, as I think, you work with as well. I think that's then we can really create benefits for our customers and have a great time doing it together.
Well, we focus on a couple of industries, but like you said, the way of working, that agile way of working, is so important to me. I would walk away from an opportunity where a customer said, "You have to work this way. We want all the requirements defined up front. We want to review and approve all the design specifications before you start building anything." That's not me. So, I'm happy to walk away and let somebody else try and deliver those. But other than that, if we find a customer like you with a win-win scenario who wants to go on the path together, then that's good.
I think that's the main important thing to find where you can work together and challenge and have that sort of honest relationship, because then you can challenge. Otherwise, it's hard.
Are there any customers you ever had to fire or walk away from? Any opportunities maybe where you just had to say, "Nope, not for us"?
Yes, we have a few of them, yes. And I think that's actually, talking about the values again, I said that win-win is one of our sort of main values. If you don't see that we can create a win for our customers and it's not a win for us to work with them, then that's what we say. And this one case was actually one of my colleagues saying that, "Hey, this customer I'm working with here, it doesn't feel like we can achieve win-win." And then we said, "Good, then we will slowly find a way to back out. Maybe there is another partner working better for this company, this customer," and that's
Those are the toughest calls, especially if the project started or you're halfway through the engagement. That's tough call.
It's a tough. It can be a tough call, but it's all about doing it in a considerate way, because you want the best for the customer still, even though you can't find a good way of working together. There is somebody else that can fit them better, and that's important for all parties. I think it's always like you have to do things because you care about customers, about your colleagues, and you try to find the best solution because you care.
Yeah.
So you want to create a win-win.
What are the challenges keeping you up at night at the moment? What are the biggest issues facing you today?
Well, the biggest issues, I think, is the platform grows so much. What type of competence is required, and how much outside of our area should we go? I mean, that's I guess it's a problem that's definitely solvable. It's just, I'm not that good with modern work, for example, or fabric. It's not my specialty, but I really need to learn more, and that's one of the challenges. I feel I don't have enough time to learn all the new areas, Yeah. But what's keeping you up?
One of my challenges is exactly that. I've got customers wanting us to help them with data lakes and fabric, get more into Power BI, not our area of expertise. I've got other customers talking about data governance and Purview, Sentinel, again, emerging Microsoft capabilities that we don't have. And sure, we can recruit the people, and I have to let go of my technical background and wanting to know how everything works.
That's a challenge, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Mm.
It's going to completely stunt our growth if I think I have to know how to configure everything. Those days are gone. Even in the Dynamics apps, my technical knowledge these days is diminishing.
Yeah, and it goes so fast, and that's stressful, I think, sometimes. Even though you can think, if I just took the time, I would be able to learn it. But it's getting harder and harder. And that's a challenge. That I think that's one of the management challenges, really. If you come from the industry yourself, you think you want to be the one that understands things and can talk to anybody, and that's getting harder and harder for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else that's facing you at the moment?
The standard thing, keeping and finding the right people is always key in our business. Working and developing the right customers and making sure sort of everybody's happy. That's always, it's always there. Yeah. You need to keep your eye on that always.
Tell me about your rhythm for meeting with people. Do you do one-on-ones? Is that kind of line management done with some team leaders that work with you?
Yeah, so what we do is, I told you about the company meeting. We have that once a week. We actually have every morning, we have sort of a stand-up in the whole company as well. Just takes 15 minutes more or less to just say, hi, I'm doing this today, or hi, I need some more work, or hi, I need some help. And then we solve that after the meeting, but just a check-in more or less. And then everybody has a team manager where they have bi-weeklies. So they meet every second week with their manager, go through what's happening, what's your temperature from 0 to 5 or from 1 to 5. And if they have a low one, we have to act within a couple of weeks. So that's actually one of our policies as well. And then we have team management meetings every week to look through the planning and what's happening, what needs to be done, sort of. Yeah.
Okay. Has anything interesting come up in the last couple of weeks? Anything from the team meetings that surprised you?
No, one of our colleagues has recently been, she has to leave on a sick leave, just happened yesterday. Right. And it's always our operation person, so to say. And it's always very nice to see that when this happens, people are stepping up and saying, hey, I can help out. What do you need? And this is it's not a surprise, but it's always very heartwarming to see that people really, I will do that. I will help out. So we sort of really cover each other's back. And that's always so nice to see.
Yeah, we had a similar situation. Yeah. One of our team called me and said, look, I've been to see my doctor. On the doctor's advice, I won't be able to return to work. I'm going to have to take indefinite leave. Okay. Yeah. And that was it. Like no time for handover. Just that was on a Friday afternoon, so we had to pick it up on Monday morning from scratch. So and the team rallied around. Customers really understanding. It's all it's getting back to nearly where it was. I wish he was still there, but
No, it's strange. We had a situation a few years back when one consultant got a stroke and another got breast cancer. So that was really, that was really bad for them, of course, mainly. Things can change quickly. And if you have this team around you that really tries to cover up, and even within the MVP community, people reached out and said, hey, can we help out in any way? Because both of these people were MVP. So that's also so nice.
I know them well.
Well, it's a cool community, I think.
How many MVPs work at CRM-Konsulterna today?
5.
5? Amazing.
5. Amazing. Yes. Yeah.
Have you recruited people who are already MVPs, or have the consultants that work with you, taken a leaf from your stuff and become MVPs? It's a bit of both, I think, isn't it?
It's a bit of both, yes. We recruited Jonas Rapp when he was an MVP already. From the beginning, it was only Gustav Westerlund who started. Is the founder of CRM-Konsulterna. But then we hired Jonas, and then not that long after, Sarah Lagerqvist. And she was not an MVP, but she became that quite soon after. So and then Carina, also the same with her, Carina Claesson, and the same with Benedict as well. They had been doing the work prior to it, and they became MVPs when they worked at our company. So
some leaders of some partner organizations have mixed feelings about working with MVPs. A lot of MVPs are very, I guess I'm one, very independently minded. They do a lot of work to promote themselves, and that can make them difficult employees, I think. But you've obviously got some very collegiate MVPs who play well with others. So You've done well to nurture that group.
Yeah. I think we really benefit from it a lot. And I think it's back to the values again, because they still share our values in the company and really want to make win-win. I mean, that goes to the community, it goes to your colleagues, it goes to the company. So I think that's the mindset they all have. If they were only there to sort of work for their own benefits, then I don't think you are in community, really.
Right. Yeah.
No, because that's the whole idea about community. It's really sharing what you know and contributing to everybody else's growth as well, which I think is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I know you've been a big supporter of Nordic Summit, for example, and it's great to see that event and that community go from strength to strength. So Lisa Crosby here in Australia, she and I have been plotting and talking and trying to do something in Australia. She's super busy at the moment with a lot of side projects, and hopefully we can pull something off soon. It'd be lovely to do something here, inspired by what you've been able to do there.
Yeah, and we have, been a quite big team. So we're 10, 13 people in the organizing team. So it's again, when life happens to everybody, people can step up and you can help out. So it's a lot about being more people, I think. It's easy to think you need to do everything yourself, as when you're a leader, right? You really want to have control of things and everything. And things usually get better if you try and get some help.
Yeah, great. I'll let you know as soon as there is an Australian Power Platform conference. I'd love to see you come down. Any chance you'd come to visit?
Oh, I would love that. Really a place where I really would like to go. We're trying to schedule actually a trip for Canada this coming summer, because we had an exchange student living in our house from Canada, and our daughter was in US, and she had one of her best friends. She came from Australia, so she really, really wants to travel there as well. So that will probably be the next stop then.
Well, let's see if I can give you a great professional excuse to come visit.
Oh, I would love that. I really hope you can.
Okay. Well, Kathrine, thank you very much for joining me on Practice Leading. It's been great to meet you and learn so much from you. We've covered a lot of ground today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much too. It was really nice to talk to you.
Thank you, Kathrine, for joining me today on Practice Leading. If you want to connect with Kathrine, you'll find her LinkedIn profile in the episode description. My key takeaways from today's conversation with Kathrine are celebrating wins. I'm one of those people who, celebrates milestone moments for a microsecond and then moves straight on to the next goal. Kathrine reminded me of the importance of celebrating those milestones as a team and relishing in them and not just moving on. Establishing an advisory board. I've got a business coach, but Superwire really needs to establish an external advisory board. We might even benefit from having one advisory board for our business and another for each of our industry-focused products. Fostering a team culture. I think CRM-K does an amazing job of bringing its team together to foster their values, celebrate wins, and keep learning so that their consultants are consistently recognized as the most talented team available. Let me know what you learned in this episode in the comments on YouTube or on the Practice Leading page on LinkedIn. What did you learn from this episode? Let me know by leaving a comment on YouTube or on the Practice Leading page on LinkedIn. Our guests love to hear your takeaways and questions, and so do I. Until next time, keep experimenting